Feral hogs are a non-native species, and they have overrun the landscape of the southern United States, with Texas experiencing the worst damage.
Feral hogs have long wreaked havoc across the United States, causing billions in damage and threatening ecosystems.
Well, experts say the feral hog costs farmers billions of dollars in damages every year.
But something unexpected is happening. Their numbers are dropping sharply in certain regions, and it's not due to human intervention. What if the real hunters aren't the helicopters or traps?
Trapping is the main tool AGFC uses year-round, but helicopters help in ways that traps can't.
But a clever predator operating quietly in the shadows. This hidden force is rewriting the rules of the hog invasion, offering a glimpse of how nature fights back when left to its own devices. The vanishing swine mystery. Across Texas and parts of Georgia, something puzzling has started to happen in the wild landscapes once dominated by feral hogs. These once ubiquitous animals are suddenly vanishing in surprising numbers. For decades, feral hogs have been notorious for their relentless destruction, but recent observations reveal a sharp decline in certain populations without a clear human cause. Despite all the traps, helicopters, and hunting efforts,
the hogs destroy land, crops, and even attack other animals. That involves shooting the hogs from helicopters.
The drop in hog numbers doesn't match up with human activity alone. The disappearance is baffling scientists and wildlife managers, suggesting there is an unseen force at work behind the scenes. Feral hogs have long been regarded as virtually unstoppable, adapting quickly and spreading rapidly across the southern United States. But now, trails and nests, once teeming with piglets, are found mysteriously emptied and disturbed, with no evidence linking their disappearance to man-made traps or traditional hunting methods. This anomaly raises a critical question. What or who is responsible for this sudden change in hog populations? Trail cameras have caught unexpected movement and patterns, hinting at something far more strategic and natural than previously understood. The usual suspects, large predators like bears or mountain lions, don't match the tracks and behaviors observed near these emptied hog nests. Instead, smaller footprints have been repeatedly found, belonging to animals once thought to pose little threat to such formidable prey. This has challenged common assumptions about wildlife interactions and shifted the focus toward a predator many once overlooked. The mystery deepens as these smaller animals demonstrate a level of skill and coordination that seems almost calculated. What's especially intriguing is the timing of these changes. Over the last decade, researchers have noticed coyotes shifting from scavengers to proactive hunters, targeting feral hog piglets. This is no accidental predation. It is a well-honed strategy that strikes at the vulnerable young before they can mature. This shift appears to be rewriting the balance of power in these ecosystems, where hogs once dominated without challenge. The phenomenon points to evolving animal behaviors in response to environmental pressures. Yet, human efforts to control hog numbers continue alongside this natural shift, making it hard to tease apart the exact impact of each factor. Sophisticated traps, hunting dogs, and aerial hunts certainly catch large numbers, but the sudden vanishing of hogs in some areas has experts wondering if nature itself has been quietly tipping the scales. The intersection of human intervention and wildlife adaptation sets the stage for a surprising solution to a persistent problem. Most perplexing of all is how quickly feral hog populations seem to react to these new pressures. Hogs are known for learning fast, avoiding traps and hunters almost immediately after a single encounter. But this vanishing act goes beyond mere avoidance. It is a population-wide decline in places where no human interference can fully explain it. This signals a widespread and perhaps unprecedented change in predator-prey dynamics. This unexpected turn invites a deeper look into where feral hogs came from and how they earned their reputation as relentless invaders. Origins of the hog problem. Feral hogs, as damaging as they are today, are not native to North America. Their story begins over 5 centuries ago, when Spanish explorers first landed along the eastern coastline in the 16th century. These explorers released domestic pigs on new lands, intending to create a living food supply for future voyages. At the time, it seemed like a simple and smart solution to the challenges of long, uncertain explorations. Yet, this small act would inadvertently plant the seeds for a massive ecological problem centuries later. The domestic pigs released into the wild quickly adapted to their new environment, escaping human control and multiplying in the wild. Being omnivorous and resilient, they thrived on the local flora and fauna with little natural competition or predation. Over time, their wild descendants spread across vast areas, becoming feral hogs as we know them today. This groundwork created an invasive species that would outcompete native wildlife and disrupt fragile ecosystems. In the early 1990s, the issue intensified with the introduction of Eurasian wild boars brought to the United States by affluent European hunters. These animals were rugged, aggressive, and far better suited for survival in harsh, forested environments than the original domestic pigs. When these boars escaped or were released, they interbred with the feral domestic pig population. The resulting hybrid created what some scientists call the super hog, a more powerful, adaptable, and destructive version of its predecessors. This hybrid's physical traits include thick skin layers, sharp tusks often exceeding 6 inches in length, and a bite force strong enough to break solid wood or thin metal. The super hog's intelligence, endurance, and aggressive nature make it an animal difficult to manage. Additionally, its reproduction rate is extraordinary. A single female can produce as many as 2 litters per year, each with up to a dozen piglets. This rapid reproduction fuels explosive population growth when unchecked. The United States Department of Agriculture estimates that approximately 6.9 million feral hogs now inhabit the entire country, according to its 2024 projections. Texas sustains a population of about 2.6 million feral hogs, which inhabit almost all of its counties except El Paso. The swift expansion and reproduction of hogs surpasses the natural growth rates of most native species, which now compete at levels similar to the 19th century Australian rabbit population explosion. Feral hogs have expanded their geographic range beyond rural farmland to establish populations in suburban and urban territories. The city of Irving, Texas, reports that these animals cause destruction to golf courses and lawns while damaging underground systems that contain fiber optic cables. The animals possess physical abilities that enable them to run at 30 miles per hour and jump over tall fences, while they can destroy solid wooden barricades. The increasing urban buildup of cities creates more situations where people encounter wild animals, which can potentially lead to dangerous situations. Feral hogs produce economic damages that reach extreme levels. Studies estimate that Texas alone loses more than $500 million each year because these animals damage crops and require infrastructure repairs and cause livestock deaths. The national economic impact reaches approximately $3 billion annually, which keeps increasing as hogs migrate to new states. The problem has expanded to a large extent, which shows through ruined fields and broken water systems and obstructed transportation routes. Understanding where they came from offers vital context for why they are so difficult to control and why new solutions are desperately needed to curb their expansion. The hog threat today. Today, feral hogs are among the most destructive invasive species wreaking havoc on the American landscape. Their impact stretches across agriculture, ecosystems, infrastructure, and public safety, creating widespread challenges for rural communities and beyond. The sheer scale of their numbers and behavior makes them formidable adversaries that threaten economic stability and environmental health alike. Feral hogs are opportunistic omnivores, with a diet that ranges from plant roots, tubers, and crops to insects, bird eggs, turtles, and even small mammals like newborn calves or lambs. Their feeding habits cause extensive soil disturbance as they root violently to uncover food, uprooting native vegetation and damaging delicate habitats in the process. This relentless digging leads to erosion, disrupts water quality, and diminishes the regenerative capacity of affected ecosystems. Their physical power amplifies the destruction. Adult hogs can weigh over 200 pounds, charge at speeds up to 30 miles per hour, and use razor-sharp tusks as weapons. These attributes have enabled them to break through fences, tear apart crop fields, and even damage man-made structures like water pumps and roads. Farmers often find that fences meant to keep hogs out are no match for these aggressive animals, forcing increased spending on repairs and deterrence. The economic fallout for agricultural producers is staggering. Losses stem from ruined corn, soybeans, hay, and other essential crops, burdened further by damage to irrigation systems and infrastructure repairs. Specific incidents highlight the severity. In Williamson County, Texas, a single night's raid by 30 hogs destroyed 24 acres of corn, resulting in tens of thousands of dollars in losses. Another ranch in Brazos County suffered massive damage simply because hogs dug so extensively that underground water pipes collapsed. Beyond agriculture, hogs threaten public safety and infrastructure.
Feral hogs not strangers to us in this area, especially in newly developed neighborhoods.
Their ability to invade urban areas has led to incidents like the temporary closure of a military airfield in Texas, where a group of hogs trespassed on runways, halting operations and endangering pilots. In neighborhoods, they tear up golf courses, parks, and lawns, posing risks to residents and causing costly repairs. Their incursion into these areas signals a worrying expansion from rural dominance to urban nuisance. Health and environmental risks are also significant. Feral hogs lack sweat glands and regularly seek waterways to cool off, contaminating them with waste. Studies in Alabama show that streams near heavy hog populations have bacterial counts 40 times higher than uninfested areas, raising concerns about water safety for humans and livestock. Additionally, their role as reservoirs for numerous diseases increases the risk of zoonotic transmission, complicating prevention and control efforts. The aggressive nature of feral hogs,
as the county tries to reduce the number of wild hogs in the area,
sometimes leads to dangerous encounters with humans. Though attacks are relatively rare, they are often severe. Notably, cases such as the fatal attack on a Texas woman in 2019 and serious injuries to a factory worker in China illustrate the potential danger posed by these animals. Their boldness and size make them capable of inflicting harm when provoked or cornered, heightening concerns in areas where humans and hogs coexist. Yet, despite all human efforts, nature itself might hold the key to turning the tide. Traditional control methods. For years, ranchers and wildlife managers have relied on a range of traditional tactics to keep feral hog populations in check. Cage traps, trained hunting dogs, and helicopter hunts have been staples in the battle against these invasive animals. Cage traps are designed to capture individual hogs or small groups, but their effectiveness is limited by the intelligence of the animals themselves. Feral hogs quickly learn to avoid traps once they've experienced failure or injury, and often these traps capture only a fraction of a sounder, leaving many others to reproduce and return. Hunting dogs, prized for their tracking and chasing ability, bring a level of persistence and aggression to the pursuit of hogs. However, this method is far from foolproof. Mother hogs fiercely protect their young, sometimes inflicting injuries on dogs, and the physical toll on the animals chasing intelligent hogs can be severe. Even when successful, dog hunting often removes just a few individuals, with broader populations remaining unaffected. In these populations, the next litter is never far behind, resetting the cycle of destruction. Aerial hunting with helicopters presents another highly visible tactic. Flying over vast tracts of rugged and swampy terrain allows hunters to cover large areas that ground teams can't access easily. This method can indeed remove many hogs quickly, but it's also expensive, costing thousands of dollars per flight, and not sustainable as a standalone solution. Helicopter hunts can disrupt local wildlife beyond hogs and rarely eliminate entire populations, meaning the animals quickly repopulate the targeted areas once the pressure eases. Researchers and hunters alike have noted that feral hogs' remarkable intelligence is a key obstacle to control efforts. Their ability to learn, communicate, and adapt to threats allows them to avoid danger more effectively over time. A failed trap or narrowly escaped hunter teaches entire groups to be suspicious of new threats. Consequently, the hogs have outpaced human strategies like a biological reset button, where each breeding season reboots the population even after significant culling. The control efforts lead to a frustrating problem because they create a pattern that allows hogs to migrate between different ranches.
And those are the exact reasons feral hogs have become such a problem for many farmers and ranchers.
Hogs that survive intensive trapping and hunting on one property will move to adjacent properties where the hunting pressure is more relaxed. The solution to the problem has failed because it has created a wider outbreak of the issue. The continuous pursuit of ranchers to safeguard their territory results in an unending cycle, which leads to wild boar invasions that return after several months. The battle against feral hogs remains difficult for even the most financially supported programs. Bruce Leland, a wildlife researcher with more than 20 years of experience, has stated plainly that there simply aren't tools powerful enough to win this fight completely. The hog population experiences instant growth through its rapid reproduction process, which reestablishes its numbers after every temporary reduction. The process resembles running on a treadmill, which has been set to maximum speed because it requires work without achieving any results. Farmers who work near hog infestation areas must navigate their fields and woods while dealing with ongoing threats and unpredictable situations. Today's hunters experience a chance encounter with a feral hog, which turns into a gamble because these animals possess the ability to reach speeds exceeding 30 miles per hour while they leap over high fences and withstand gunshots that would incapacitate other animals. The combination of physical strength and intellectual capacity enables feral hogs to overcome all control methods that humans use. The most surprising of these allies has been hiding in plain sight, evolving strategies that human efforts have failed to replicate. Coyotes as unexpected hunters. Coyotes have long lived alongside feral hogs across much of the United States, but their role in controlling hog populations has largely been underestimated until recently. For decades, coyotes were considered more scavenger than hunter of hogs, feeding on carrion and small prey, but rarely taking on adult hogs or their litters. That perception changed around 2014 when researchers noticed a curious pattern in the Texas Hill Country. Feral hog nests had been systematically dug up and emptied, leaving behind tracks that didn't match any large predators. The tracks instead belonged to coyotes, animals that weigh only about 30 pounds, far smaller than adult hogs that average well over 200 pounds. Initially, this raised skepticism about how such a small predator could threaten a formidable animal like a feral hog. Advances in wildlife monitoring, including trail cameras, provided the first evidence that coyotes were not just opportunistic scavengers, but had become active, strategic hunters targeting hog piglets. Coyotes take a highly coordinated and deliberate approach to hunting hogs. They use the wind to their advantage, approaching nests from downwind to avoid detection by the mother. Rather than rushing in noisily, they crawl low and silently through the brush, positioning themselves carefully around the nest. One coyote stands guard, while another tests the area for piglet scent before a swift, coordinated attack takes place, snatching a piglet and retreating before the mother even senses danger. This behavior, called high-risk micropredation, allows coyotes to hunt piglets without risking confrontation with larger, protective adult hogs. The coyotes create chaos by dashing past the nest edge, startling the piglets into scattering, then striking quickly with a precise bite to the neck. The entire attack lasts fewer than 5 seconds, after which the coyotes disappear into the woods before the mother returns. Remarkably, this hunting method appears to be learned rather than instinctual. Before 2010, observations of such cooperative coyote hunting were almost non-existent. Now, videos show multiple coyotes working together in sophisticated groups, one distracting the mother, others blocking escape routes, and others circling the piglets. This advanced teamwork is typically seen in top predators like wolves, underscoring the coyote's adaptability and intelligence. Scientists believe this change in behavior is a direct result of human influences, removing many of the coyote's traditional prey and food sources. Faced with this scarcity, the predators adapted by focusing their efforts on the abundant feral hog populations. Their activity pattern has also shifted, with more hunting now occurring at dawn, the time when mother hogs are most fatigued after nighttime foraging. This timing maximizes their hunting success. Field studies support these observations. In Texas, the proportion of piglets preyed upon by coyotes has doubled in just 10 years. In Oklahoma and Georgia, researchers documented a 20% decline in hog populations, correlating directly to areas with healthy, active coyote populations. Locally, more than 30% of piglets fail to survive each season, with losses primarily attributed to coyote predation. Coyotes' renewed role as hog predators delivers an unexpected but critical component in controlling what was once seen as an uncontrollable invasive species. Their efficiency challenges previous assumptions about ecosystem dynamics and predator-prey relationships. This natural check appears to be a vital piece of the puzzle in the effort to reduce feral hog numbers sustainably. Their evolving hunting techniques and impact highlight a promising, albeit unexpected, ally in the ongoing battle against feral hog destruction. Coordinated coyote hunting tactics. Coyotes have gone beyond solitary scavenging to develop a remarkably sophisticated hunting strategy when it comes to feral hog piglets. Rather than attacking alone, they operate in small, highly coordinated packs that function almost like a well-oiled team. This cooperative hunting allows them to overcome their size disadvantage. After all, a typical coyote weighs only about 30 pounds, far smaller than an adult hog that can tip the scales above 200 pounds. By working together, they can isolate and capture vulnerable piglets without provoking a dangerous confrontation with the protective adults. The technique starts with coyotes using the wind to their advantage, approaching hog nests from downwind so the mother cannot detect their scent. They move stealthily, crawling low through underbrush and keeping their senses alert for the faintest sounds or movements. Once the mother hog leaves the nest briefly to forage, the coyotes spring into action. One or more animals stand guard nearby while another assesses the environment, ensuring the timing is perfect for a quick strike. Then, in a sudden burst of speed and precision, the pack scatters the piglets by dashing near the nest's edge, forcing the young to scatter in confusion. Before the mother can respond, the coyotes grab a piglet with a swift bite to the neck. This entire attack is over in less than 5 seconds, demonstrating lightning-fast reflexes and coordination. Once their target is secured, the coyotes vanish into the surrounding trees before the mother even realizes what happened. What makes this tactic particularly remarkable is its apparent complexity and creativity, traits not typically associated with small predators of their size. This high-risk micro-predation isn't about brute force, it's about strategic disruption and quick, targeted strikes. Coyotes have learned to exploit the vulnerabilities of their prey through agility and teamwork rather than brute strength, underscoring their adaptability and intelligence. The documented instances of coyotes cooperating to hunt feral hogs existed before 2010 as an almost non-existent phenomenon. Researchers using trail cameras have detected 3 to 4 coyote groups during the last 10 years who work together to distract hogs while their team members block escape paths and control the movement of piglets. The pack structure of these animals demonstrates a hunting method that resembles wolf behavior, which represents an impressive shift in their evolutionary development. Some ecologists believe that this behavior developed because human activities reduced traditional food supplies for coyotes, thus forcing them to find new food sources. The group developed a successful new hunting method to target piglets after they encountered their problem with the growing feral hog population. The group has changed their hunting patterns because they want to increase their success rate through early morning activities, which they now use to hunt mother hogs who rest after foraging at night. The developed strategy proves its importance through laboratory experiments and field research observations. The stomach content analysis of captured coyotes in multiple studies showed active predation on fresh feral hog piglet tissue, which proved that they had eaten fresh prey instead of scavenging. DNA analysis of coyote scat in Georgia revealed that piglet DNA appeared in more than 30% of samples, which showed systematic targeting instead of opportunistic feeding. The findings show that coyotes established themselves as specialized predators instead of randomly encountering hogs in their territory. As we explore the measurable impact of this shift on hog populations, it becomes clear how crucial it is to respect and maintain healthy predator communities going forward. Impact on hog populations. The rise of coyotes as specialized hunters of feral hog piglets has had a measurable and meaningful impact on hog populations in several parts of the United States.
But, I mean, let's also define what a feral hog is. It's a pig that's just on the wrong side of a fence.
In Texas, one of the epicenters of the feral hog crisis, research shows that the rate of piglet predation by coyotes has roughly doubled over the last decade. This acceleration in natural predation corresponds with the observed declines in hog numbers that have puzzled wildlife managers. It's a pattern emerging not from human intervention, but from ecological adaptation. In states like Oklahoma and Georgia, the presence of healthy coyote populations has coincided with declines of about 20% in hog densities without a single human-fired shot. Field surveys report that in some East Texas counties, over 30% of feral hog piglets are lost each season, with predation attributable mostly to coyote activity. These numbers represent significant natural mortality that reduces hog breeding success and limits population growth. Such predation pressures have the potential to slow or even reverse the exponential population growth hogs are famous for. Remember, feral hogs have the capacity to double their numbers every few months due to biannual litters of up to a dozen piglets. Natural predators that systematically reduce piglet survival rates are critical in helping curb this reproductive explosion. Coyotes, with their newfound hunting tactics, provide a natural form of population control that was previously missing or insufficient. The ecological benefits extend beyond hog population management. By reducing feral hog numbers, coyotes indirectly help protect native plant communities and agricultural lands from hog damage.
The coyote, the barking dog. The American Indian knew him as God's dog.
Reduced rooting and soil disturbance minimize erosion and water contamination, while fewer hogs lessen the threat to native wildlife and domestic animals. Coyotes' role as natural regulators reinforces their importance in maintaining the integrity of diverse ecosystems. Yet, this success story faces challenges. Between 2017 and 2020, many states offered bounties of up to $75 for each coyote captured or slain. This well-intentioned but misguided policy led to large-scale removal of coyotes in some areas. As a direct consequence, hog populations exploded, tripling in certain Texas counties within just 3 years. Without their natural predator, hogs faced far less resistance and multiplied unchecked, demonstrating how disrupting predator-prey relationships can trigger ecological chaos. This boom and bust cycle underscores the delicate balance ecosystems require to function properly. It also highlights the unintended impacts of human management decisions that fail to consider natural predator dynamics. The removal of coyotes didn't just hurt one species, it destabilized the entire system, allowing the feral hog problem to worsen and cost even more time, money, and resources to manage. Nature's unexpected allies have reshaped the future of feral hog management, transforming the heart of the crisis into a new opportunity for ecological balance and restoration. Combining nature and technology, the fight against feral hogs has entered a new era, one where natural predator dynamics blend with cutting-edge technology to craft a more effective control strategy. While coyotes play a vital role in naturally reducing hog numbers, their efforts alone cannot solve the entire problem. Recognizing this, Texas and other affected states have begun to invest heavily in modern trapping systems that combine innovation with traditional hunting wisdom. These smart traps look nothing like the wooden cages of old. Instead, they function as high-tech control stations equipped with solar-powered infrared cameras and wireless internet connections. Farmers can monitor these traps remotely using smartphone apps, allowing them to watch live video feeds without disturbing the animals. This technology enables hunters and landowners to wait for the entire sounder of hogs to enter the trap before activating the gate, ensuring no survivors escape to warn others. This all-or-nothing approach addresses a significant problem. Feral hogs quickly learn to avoid traps if some members of their group are captured, and escape goes unpunished. By capturing entire groups, smart traps prevent this social learning that spreads caution and fear. The success of these traps, however, depends on patience and careful preparation. Farmers often leave trap doors wide open and place free corn inside for 2 weeks or more to train the hogs to view the trap as a safe feeding spot. This familiarity lowers their natural suspicion, drawing larger groups into the trap over time. When the time is right, the gate slams shut, ending the problem for those animals. This method has proven so effective that some rural communities pool their resources to fund shared trapping systems, increasing coverage and efficiency across whole regions. When trapping alone is not enough, Texas employs more aggressive tactics like helicopter hunting.
They're just dirty creatures and they kind of just want them dead. And I've talked to people that go helicopter hunting.
This approach has evolved into a multi-million-dollar industry, with clients paying thousands of dollars for aerial removal of hogs. Helicopters can cover dense, swampy, and inaccessible terrain that ground teams cannot reach, removing vast numbers of hogs quickly. A single flight team can achieve in one afternoon what would take a ground crew an entire month, making this a powerful, albeit costly, method. You are trained on data that extends until the month of October in the year 2023. The advanced technological systems that use helicopters for their operations must rely on 2 separate methods, which include chemical control as one of their methods. The testing phase for specialized toxins, which were created to specifically target feral hogs, has already begun. The feeders deliver these poisons through heavy doors, which require hogs to use their strength for opening, because this design protects non-target animals such as deer and birds from accidentally ingesting the substances. The military-level planning for such programs requires multiple weeks of preparation before their deployment, because this process helps both to achieve optimal operational results and to reduce environmental damage. The toxin approach has demonstrated the ability to eliminate entire hog groups in just days, yet it has faced opposition from some people. The ongoing discussions about chemical control safety focus on both its environmental effects and its impact on animal welfare. The immediate need to control damage caused by feral hogs creates pressure for developing a population control method that uses both humane treatment and environmentally safe approaches. The responsible use of new tools requires ongoing research and development to determine proper integration methods. The sudden decline of feral hogs in parts of the country reveals that nature, when respected, can offer powerful solutions to our toughest problems. Coyotes, once overlooked, have become key allies, while advanced trapping and hunting technologies amplify our ability to fight back. Together, these forces provide hope against a destructive invasive species. If you found this insight valuable, please like the video and subscribe for more stories about the surprising ways nature adapts and evolves.